From the first time I set my eyes on you, I didn't know from the start. I didn't know how you turned my life around, or how in love I'd be with who you are. But you showed me what it means to be loved. The way you touched me, hold me quietly. You're everything I am not. And when I have you in my arms, I feel undone. So in a long way, I've come to say I love you. Every day I open my eyes next to you is a day I'm grateful for, because this thunderstorm of who I am, well, needs a strong woman, and that's who you are. So we'll start today and build our world together. The way we love is the way we will stand. And I know, yes I know, I will last the stormy weather. Just as long as I got you. Touch me, hold me quietly. You're everything I am not. It's when I have you in my arms, I feel undone. So in a long way, I've come to say that you showed me what it means to be loved. The way you touch me, hold me quietly. When I have you in my arms, I feel undone. So in a long way, I've come to say I love you. It's in a long way, I've come to say I love you. It's in a long way, I've come to say I love you.
Well, we knew each other since high school, and then we basically just started to talk when I joined Facebook 6.5 years ago. So my name must have come up as somebody that he knew, and so he clicked to friend me, and then we started to talk as friends. And it was just completely friends for 5 years, and then about a year and a half ago, I looked at him and I saw him as more than a friend. And so then things just progressed from there. And here we are. I thought that he was really nice and that he was easy to talk to and very honest and sincere, which I really loved about him. Not just as a friend at the time, but those are qualities that I really appreciate about him now, that he's going to be my future husband. What attracted me most was just how easy he was to talk to. And we had so many conversations as friends. He would be one of the people that when I would come home to visit my parents at Christmas, I would always make a point to go and visit him. And we would talk for hours and hours and hours about everything under the sun. We would be really honest with each other. And it was a very, very comfortable feeling. And I think that's where our foundation was lane where we were friends, best friends first, and then I remember looking at how beautiful that his eyes were, and what a beautiful smile that he had. And I loved his tattoo. I thought that was pretty hot. And I remember thinking that he seemed really strong, and I don't know. I admired that. We had dates as friends, like friend times out, but one of the times that was a date was when he said, I would like to take you out to Jigs in St. Peter's. And he took me out, and I got scallops and fries with gravy. It was anything that I wanted. And then he said, we're going to go somewhere special to eat this. So I remember he drove us to Battery Park, where we would overlook the water in the park. And we had a little picnic there. And I thought, how sweet and romantic is this, that he would take something small and make it special. So with him, all of the regular moments become extraordinary moments, and he's always making them special for me. So I find that just such a wonderful thing. I really love that about him. He's romantic, I'm romantic, and so that was one of the first dates that when we were a couple that we went on. And it was simple, but we're both simple and romantic, and this, we can make little things into beautiful moments. I loved him as a friend before, but when I felt that I loved him was probably within, I would say, 3 weeks after we started to date. I realized when I looked at him and how I looked at him that I genuinely had that seed of romantic love that was blossoming and growing, and it just kept getting stronger. And my life is better with him. Every moment that I get to spend with him is a better moment than without him. So he makes my life so much better and so much happier that I just love being with him. He said, I love you first, and it took me aback, but it made me think, like, he's really serious about this. And I looked at it seriously too. I know that he wouldn't just say anything that he didn't mean, but he said, I love you first. And he told me he had loved me for a long time, even when we were friends, but I didn't know that. There was this one time that we were driving back from Nashville, and the car started to it just shut off. And so I remember him saying, Stacy, get up, because I was kind of dozing in the passenger seat. And then he put the car to the side. It was pouring down rain. We had just passed a place, like a town called Draper, and his name is not a common name. And I thought, oh my heavens, what is this? We're in the middle of Tennessee, and we're on the side of the road, and we just started to laugh and laugh and laugh. We took a little break. We gave each other a hug, and then we got back on the road, and he's like, you know what? It's a good thing that we didn't break down in Draper, because they would have made me the mayor of the town of Draper, and I would never have been able to have left. We would have our castle in the town of Draper. It was just funny, but he's always saying funny stuff all the time. I really love his sense of humor, and we're always laughing every day. Oh, we love to listen to music together and dance in the kitchen, waltz in the kitchen, like listen to music, have some candles on, and just genuinely dance in the kitchen. I felt that he was the one after he met my father, and my father said that he seemed like a really nice young man, and he helped my father do some maintenance work at our cabin, and he just pitched in, and I just saw the two of them working together, and he reminds me a lot of my father. He's probably the guy who's the closest to my father that I've ever met, and my father has been a wonderful parent, a wonderful man. I've seen him be a wonderful husband to my mother. And so when I saw how well they got along and how they were so similar, I realized he is the one. Because I was always looking for someone who had as much patience and caring and love as my father did for me, and as he did for my mother as her husband, and for me as my father. I was so excited. My first thought was just shock and surprise, because I didn't expect for it to happen at that particular time. But I loved it, and I just was over the moon, because I want to spend the rest of my life with him, and in eternity I want to be joined with him. Honestly, my expectations of the wedding are that it be fun. That's number one, that it be fun, that people enjoy themselves, that we have a great day, and honestly, there's nothing that can happen that is going to ruin that day for us. It can rain, the ceiling can fall in on the hall, I can spill red wine on my white wedding dress. It will not matter, because I'll put a bib on top of it, we'll patch up the ceiling, we'll dance in the rain, and it's going to be a good time, let me tell you.
Your love's all I need to get by in this life. And on this day, I promise you to give you mine. Yeah, I'm so in love with you. Don't know what to do. I'm so in love with you. I know you love me too.
How did we first meet? I'd say it was a long time ago, during high school. We were friends, and about 6 years ago or so, I reached out on Facebook, added her as a friend, and we talked for many, many years. We visited with one another during the holidays, and that's how we first met. My first impression of her was she's a very, very beautiful, kind-hearted woman who is very understanding and just genuinely a fantastic person. Well, that would be her beautiful smile and her beautiful eyes and her kind voice. She's very loving. Our first date would have been in Halifax at Jack Astor's. We met, we ate, we had a fantastic meal. We talked about life and our goals in life, and we just had a great old comfortable time. Everything was very easy and comfortable. It was quite evident to me at that point that this woman was someone very special. Well, that would be probably some point during the 5 years of us being friends. I believe it would have been 2 or 3 Christmases ago. She stopped over and visited. We had nachos, we exchanged gifts, and that was probably the first night that I realized that I was in love with this woman. I'd like to think that was me, but I think it was a mutual thing. I believe I said it first and she followed behind with it. She said it back, which was a good thing. I'd say our first date was probably the funniest story for me because I was extremely nervous. I was under a lot of pressure to make a good impression, and we just enjoyed each other's company, and we laughed and we had a great time. We've had so many. There's been plenty, but I'd say the most memorable experience would be last year on my birthday. We drove all the way to Nashville to go to the Country Music Awards, and we attended the Country Music Awards, and we had a fantastic time. We seen lots of great musicians playing, and it was probably the best moment. Our favorite thing to do together, I think, in my opinion, would be going for walks, enjoying each other's company, talking, laughing, having a great old time. We always have a great time together. Everything we do together is great. When did I feel that she was the one? I'd say on our first date, 6 years ago, or 5 years ago, sorry. I definitely struck some feelings up for her at that point, and I was glad that we carried on talking over the years and that our relationship progressed like it did, because we were great friends for 5 years, and it was very early on that I felt that she was the one. My courtship began. It was Christmas Eve last year. Went and I purchased the ring. I wrote up a bunch of signs telling her how much I loved her and how great she was and how much she meant to me. And at the end of it, the last piece of paper slide, it was, "Will you marry me?" And thankfully she said yes. And I had some Luke Combs music playing in the background. It was a very romantic proposal. I'd like to think so. I kind of copied it off a movie, but I put my own twist to it, so that's how it was done. My expectations for our wedding will be to see everyone have a great time, enjoy themselves, eat, drink, and be merry. Just have a great, fantastic night. Be as happy as we're going to be. My message for Stacy would be, baby, I'm very much in love with you. I love you to the moon and back. And I can't wait till we are married.
Sunshine, you're my best times, you're my anomaly, and I'd choose you in 100 lifetimes. choose you. In 100 worlds I'd find you, and I'd say I do for the rest of my life. With all that I have, I do, and I will. When the sky is falling, I promise you I'm all in, no turning back. And every day, every moment, every breath you take, I choose you. This is more than just a wedding. This is etched into eternity. With our union, we will move mountains. We will live on our knees, 'cause he'd choose us. In 100 lifetimes, he'd choose us. In 100 worlds, he'd find us, and we'd say we do for the rest of our lives. With all that we have, we do, and we will. When the sky turns black and he comes back riding on the clouds, every day and every moment, every breath we take, we choose you. Look into my eyes, dear. Look into my eyes, dear. 'Cause this is where it starts. Yes, this is where it starts. I'll give you my whole heart for my whole life. I'll give you my whole heart for my whole life. And this is where it starts. And I'll say I do for the rest of my life. With all that I have, I do, and I will. When the sky is falling, I promise you I'm all in, no turning back. And every day, every moment, and every breath you take, I choose you.